Do you have a business, organization, book, or movement you'd like to promote? Advertise through Red Pill Philosophy and reach your goals. Click the link below to learn more.
Barefoot walking. Barefoot walking. You're damn right I walk barefoot everywhere. The myth of laziness. I believe that laziness is a fucking myth created by corporate overlords who guilt you into thinking you are lazy because you don't want to do the menial, repetitive, boring tasks that they rely on you to do in order to line their back pockets with money. You know, we typically call lazy people, you know, a child who doesn't want to do his homework, aka a child who doesn't want to regurgitate useless information he'll never fucking use and sees no relevance to his individual life, both in the present and in the future. Because hey, most people forget most of what they learn in school because you're never going to use it. Even a fucking child could sense that. But we force our children for the same reason we think criticizing people for being lazy is justifiable. We call lazy people the guy who hates his 9-to-5 boring job and works sluggishly. But I'm here to tell you that I think laziness is a fucking myth. People aren't lazy. People just don't like doing things they don't like doing. And in a society where we force most people from an early age to do shit they don't like to do, well, we're all fucking lazy. I'm surprised somebody hasn't created fucking laziness habitual disorder. You know, a fucking new disorder called laziness. Well, I guess in a way ADD medication is a medication for laziness. The inability to focus could be categorized as laziness. Still, technically they don't say it's laziness. They just say, oh, because you have a fucking problem. Oh, you can't focus on boring, menial tasks that have no relevance to your life, fucking present and future? Oh, you must have a problem focusing. No, you have a problem focusing on totally irrelevant horseshit. See, this goes back to this fundamental premise in modern society today, where we think that people who don't want to do things that they're supposed to do, that serve somebody else's fucking agenda, we think that that's the problem. We think that people have internal problems. Instead of thinking, oh, maybe society is fucked. Maybe our cultural approach to life is fucked. No, you're fucked. You have ADD. Something inside of you isn't working right. It's not that you're not working on the right things that you enjoy. It's that something inside of you isn't working right. It's not that you're not working on the right things that you actually enjoy, which would eliminate all laziness and attention deficit disorders. It's that something inside you isn't working right. You have trouble focusing. You're lazy. No child has trouble focusing and spending time doing something they love. So some people might say, oh yeah, well, what is, you know, my child, he's gotta do his chores, you know? He's gotta shower, doesn't he? He's gotta do all these tasks. He's got to, you know, do his homework. He's got to, you know, consider what his future is gonna be, his career. Right. But see, that's how they get you, isn't it? That's how this whole system gets you. They tell you that if you don't focus on the future, 20 fucking years, I mean, that's how society, this world, we are so afraid of the unknown that we want to plan 20 years in advance for the future, even though planning 20 years in advance for the future may be one of the most futile, stupid things ever. Because at the rate that technology and society evolves, how can you be sure what's going to be relevant 20 years from now? I say, instead of trying to get rid of laziness, instead of trying to force kids to fucking, focus their attention on something they hate, I say, give them one of the greatest tools and strengths imaginable, which is the ability to adapt to the moment. When I was in Chile on a business trip a couple months ago, I met a really cool dude. I can't remember his name right now. I suck with names. Oh, you suck with names? Maybe you have trouble focusing, huh? No, probably just because I think names are mostly useless. Anyways, I met this guy and he basically told me that he makes it his deliberate goal every day to not plan for anything. He doesn't plan. I don't think he has a bank account. He's always traveling places. He doesn't plan. He literally goes through life adapting to the moment, which in my opinion is a far greater skill, which requires far more effort and discipline than, planning 20 years in advance for a future you're not even sure may exist. What better skills to have than to be able to adapt to the moment and secure your well-being in any fucking situation? Not some far off 20 years in the future, once I graduate from high school and I'll go to college. You have no idea how many parents saved up thousands of dollars, prepaid college funds for their children, and that 20-year-long investment is fucking useless now. We live in a society that is desperately running away from the present moment, and this actually reflects what I was saying earlier about laziness and attention deficit disorder. We are a society that hates what we do in the present moment. A child hates studying for useless fucking classes. But instead of saying, maybe I should change my environment and my lifestyle and my life in general to reflect a life that naturally attracts my attention effortlessly, instead of that, we say the child has a problem, medicate his ass with ADD medication, and force him to submit to the surroundings that he's in. And that's not a solution. So the fact that we socially, culturally, embedded in the very essence of our lives, that we like to offset pre-planning to some future goal away from the present moment reflects how much we hate the present moment as it is. You're lazy. You're not lazy. You don't like doing what you have to do now because it's a stupid goal that's to facilitate somebody else's goals. A corporate goal, a government goal. Not your fucking goal, somebody else's destiny. It's incredible. It's incredible how much we hate the present moment. Where we will work 5 days a week, 40 to 60 hours in 5 straight rows of a day. We hate the job we do, but the thing that gets us through the 5 days are the 2 days off on the weekend where we sit around watching TV and daydream about how our lives could be better, but never do anything about it. And that's a microcosm. The weekend is a microcosm of waiting 20 years for that ethereal goal far, far in the future. 20 years from now, when you're born, 20 years later, you'll get your degree, and then you'll be set. Because we can predict what's going to be happening in 20 years, right? Yeah, right. Total bullshit. But then there's other things. There's little greater scales. You got a 5-day work week, where the weekend is what we offset our consciousness to ignore the present moment. But then we have the vacation, the annual 2-week vacation, where The only thing getting us through a year's worth of work is constantly offsetting our consciousness, visualizing this conceptual future where finally, although my life sucks on a day-to-day basis and I'm bored and unpassionate and unconnected, at least at the end of the year I get my 2 weeks off, and then you spend 2 weeks daydreaming, escaping to the Bahamas. Escape to the Bahamas. Those are the fucking marketing terms used for like vacation packages. Escape to the Bahamas. Why do you think they use the word escape? Because, you know, escape is a word we use to describe fucking, you know, prisoners running away from their captors, getting away from something you don't like, something that was holding you back. Well, yeah, you hate your fucking job, so you're escaping from the prison of your culturally conditioned lifestyle to this 2-week vacation in the Bahamas where you'll daydream about how much you wish your life would be better and how much you dread going back to work. And of course, the fucking deception, the reality is that vacation and paradise is not to be found in the fucking Bahamas. It could be found there, but it's not exclusively found on a fucking vacation. Paradise, heaven on earth, could be a day-to-day, moment-to-moment experience. But you have to understand that it's a power game. You're not just living a life that doesn't reflect your true values because you're not working hard enough. Although I would say if you worked hard enough, you'll get it. But you have to understand that there are people who have vested interests in you not finding your eternal paradise, where every day is something you enjoy. You wake up every day excited. No alarm clock needed. Your passion wakes you up. People don't want you to know that's what school's for. School is workforce training. Go read the book, The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America. The author it's got the PDF file. You can download it for free. Deliberate Dumbing Down of America. Goes into it. The Carnegie Foundation, the Rockefeller organizations, the start of the 20th century, the 1900s. Education, as we know it today, is mostly workforce training to get you, from a young age, adapted to a life of subservience to authority, following orders, and chasing little biscuits. In school, the biscuits is grades. Oh, you got an A and a star in your paper. Feel good about yourself. You're officially fine. Now you're officially allowed to have self-esteem. You got a star on your paper. You got an A. Well, when you finally graduate from workforce training, aka school, and you go into the workforce, the biscuit, the incentive, the little biscuit at the end of the rat wheel, encouraging you to keep running on that pointless repetitive cycle. On that pointless repetitive cycle is a paycheck. And again, there's nothing necessarily wrong with money, but the money, which is controlled by the Federal Reserve, which doesn't care about you, that money, that centralized control of money, is used to enslave you, to get you to continue to be a cog in a fucking machine, which really is nothing more than the machine, the gears of the empire. Do you think governments build roads because they want you to travel to your best friend's house to celebrate their birthday and, you know, connect with people in your community? Roads are not built because the government loves you. They're built because they allow the skids of the economy, they allow the gears of the economy to flow. And the government wants the gears of the economy to flow. They want you going to work because almost all money ultimately usurps back up to the government itself, to the fascist powers. Almost all of it. Taxation, it's all controlled by the Federal Reserve. So the myth of laziness, the myth of attention deficit disorder, the myth that you have a problem, that you are not working right. It's just that, a myth. You are a interconnected unit of reality. You are as divine as anything else. No leader, no government, no corporation, no professor is any more deserving of credibility than you are. Certainly not by default credibility. Remember your interconnected role in the harmonious ether of reality. Remember it.